welcome back to another installment of Getting to Know You. I am joined by PeDRA's new communications manager, Caitlin Haskell. Welcome.
Thanks, Jen. Glad to be here.
So, Caitlin, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came to pediatric dermatology.
Sure. So I am originally from upstate New York. My husband and I moved around quite a bit for jobs or to attend graduate school, whatnot. And currently we live in Nashville, Tennessee, with our two kids and our dog. Last fall, I just had my second child. And as I was looking to return to work this spring, I was looking for positions where I could continue doing communications, working in the academic research setting, and ideally finding something remote and flexible. And so I saw this position, again, knew nothing about pediatric dermatology, but decided to apply anyway and thought, what the heck, why not? And I'm so glad I did. I've enjoyed my interviews with Mike, our executive director, and I've been here for a little over a month. And so far, it's just been an amazing experience. So happy to be here.
You have some previous experience working in communications in the academic setting, isn't that right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So I've spent, which is crazy, almost over a decade now. Time flies. I can't believe it. It feels like I just graduated yesterday. But I've mainly spent most of my time working in higher education at various colleges and universities, doing a lot of different things. So I was doing academic advising, event planning, project management, faculty recruiting, so many things. Something I love about all the roles I've had and this role that I'm in now is wearing multiple hats. So no day's the same. There's opportunity to take on new initiatives, take on new tasks, learn new systems or ways of doing things. And so throughout my years working in higher ed, I took on more of communications roles and realized I really liked doing this. And most recently, that was a huge chunk of my job, and I just loved it. One of the things I love doing is making our newsletter. It sounds silly, but it's just so fun. I love just being in there and making it look good, and mainly making sure that people know what we're doing and promoting all of our awesome programs and events, and finding ways to connect with our community and welcome new members in too.
I love that. And I love you've only been here a short amount of time. You've already done a whole bunch of things. You've got us all thinking about our brand and our communications so much differently. And it's so exciting. It's kind of reinvigorating. So you touched a little bit on this just in the last answer, but kind of can you give us some more detail about what you'll be doing as a communications manager for PeDRA?
Sure. So, like I said, making sure that people are aware of what we're doing. We can have amazing programs, we can put on amazing events, but if no one knows about them, no one shows up, no one applies to our grants, no one plays our awesome games like Eczema accounts that we just launched. Do you like that little plug?
I love that.
And throughout the year, I mean, I'm still learning and I have so much to learn, but I'm already amazed at all of the resources PeDRA provides to our members. So many resources for research, ways to get involved, ways to learn from each other. The mentorship program helps early investigators start to learn from people who've been in the field maybe 20 years. And I just think there's so many cool things we're doing and so many ways that we're advancing the research in this field. And so my job is to just make sure that people know about it.
Yeah, it's a big job getting the
Yeah.
word out about everything. And hearing you list all those things just reminds me of how much really is going on in
Yes.
PeDRA and just how important it is to get that word out. Caitlin, I know you live in Nashville, and people the world over are always curious about Nashville. I certainly am. So what are
Yeah.
some interesting stories you have about your life in Nashville?
Well, it's such a fun city, so I hope you can come visit me sometime. We'll party for sure. But we see stars quite often. Stars, like, they can just go about their days here. It's pretty cool. My first star sighting was Miley Cyrus at TJ Maxx. So I stood right behind her in line. She's exactly like she is like on TV. She was exactly like I would expect. But we've seen a lot of different stars. Even though we've been here a long time, it's still really fun. My husband not ran into, but saw Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban at Whole Foods recently. So
What?
like that's a big deal, right?
That's like A-list.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Not that Miley
Yeah.
Cyrus isn't. I mean, she's
Yeah.
huge too, but that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
Can't even imagine that. So aside from your interesting experiences in Nashville with a variety of country stars, what is something interesting about you?
This is always such a hard question, but I think the thing that surprises people about me is that I'm an introvert. I love to have a good time. I love to party, like love adventures. We've lived in a bunch of different cities, like I love it all, but at my core, I'm an introvert and that's what recharges me.
That's very interesting. I've recently learned from my husband, who is also an introvert, that
Mhm.
people like you and him are called omniverts because you can be very extroverted in the moment, but really what recharges you is being introspective and introverted. Well, Caitlin, this has been a delight. I've had a great time getting to know you. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Jen. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much to Caitlin Haskell for joining me today on Getting to Know You. I hope you enjoyed getting to learn just a little bit more about what our PeDRA Communications Manager is going to be doing for our organization. Follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at PeDRA Research. And be sure to check us out and subscribe to YouTube. If you're listening to us in our PeDRA Pearls podcast on iTunes, Google, or Spotify, be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Tell us how we're doing. We'll see you here next month for another Getting to Know You.